vulnerability chat with y'all. This epiphany that I've had that's been kind of weighing on me about the amount of unknowns in my life. Unknowns about my career, where it's going, unknowns about Jason's health and how that's gonna go, how that's gonna look, unknowns about our future. I'm gonna show you something right now that I can show it to you. It might be kind of gross. Electrolyte loss from my hair. We have hit a new low weigh-in for me at this point of the prep series. Actually, 2 weeks from today, I will be getting on a plane and heading to San Francisco, California. I've never been, and I will be not used to running first thing in the morning. I normally strength train, I normally do that fasted, and that's all good, but when it comes to doing a long run, I have to force myself to put some fuel in the tank before I start, because if not, it definitely catches up with me throughout the run and for my recovery. So I have to be really practical. I'm just gonna eat this morning light, is it called a light English muffin? I can't even remember. It's a multigrain English muffin. This combo is really good. I'm gonna do just a little bit of coconut oil and then put some honey on it. I don't want too much fat because you don't really want anything that's gonna slow down your digestion when it comes to a run. So like running nutrition sometimes is a little bit of the opposite of what you want for weight loss nutrition, right? It can be a little bit conflicting. But the flavor of this just makes it a little bit better. So I am gonna do just the tiniest little bit of coconut oil on here and then honey so that this will give me a good source of carbohydrates. Use this raw unfiltered honey so I can just drizzle it on. Oh, Bruce Wayne finally woke up this morning. Now he wants to go to the bathroom. So I'm gonna eat this. And also for my caffeine of choice, this has gone over really well for me, you guys. The Ghost Energy Sticks. If you have not grabbed these, they are available on the website. Code Kara always saves you 20% off, and I do truly appreciate the support when you choose to go to the website and purchase these items. I know Ghost is crushing it. They're so readily available everywhere, but I can't tell you enough that it makes a difference if you do make that choice to go to the website, use my code. It lets the team know I sent you there. So just know it really makes a big difference. I appreciate you, and you do get that 20% off. Plus, I have to say, Ghost shipping is super fast. So I know it can be tempting to just like go grab something in person, but it's super fast. I digress. The energy sticks I love because they're not carbonated, obviously. And so I've got the sour watermelon in here with lemon crush hydration to give me some electrolytes in me this morning pre-run along with the energy. It's 200 milligrams of caffeine, really clean source of caffeine. There's not a lot of other ingredients going on in there. So I like it better than having an energy drink pre-run. Also, pre-workout for me is too much before a run. Coffee usually also just moves the GI too fast for me. I know this is a lot of details, but it's a very detailed figuring out what works for you when it comes to running. And it's very different than what I would have for like a normal lifting day, or if I'm just like only focusing on my deficit, which I am still in my deficit, by the way. So I know that that can seem weird to do long runs and kind of do that while being in a deficit, but trust in this hoe that she knows what she's doing. So I'm gonna drink this, get this in me, because the morning's already going along here. It's 7:30, so it's not early anymore. I was hoping to be out the door by now. I'm gonna eat this, go through puberty, figure out my outfit, do a little skincare, and we're gonna head out the door and tackle this long run. Outfit that I'm gonna run in today, it's thankfully a bit cooler outside. We've had some crazy humidity this summer, which has made it quite challenging to run in. I think I'm more acclimated to winter running. Of course, both the boys, they hear cameras, they hear and see cameras, and they wanna come be part of the show, huh? They wanna be part of the show. Hi, Biggs. We're trying to get out the door. This is why I am not quick to do anything or go anywhere. Anyways, outfit for the run today is going to be my Wicked Zip sports bra in the color Margarita. This color makes me happy. It's like my favorite running color. I love this bra because it is the zip up version of what launched in the 7 Deadly Sins launch. So it's a little spin-off, a little ode to Karakori. But I like it for my long distance running because it's got the pockets on the side. So it's got a big pocket here. I can put a goo in while I'm running. I can put a goo in over here or my salt tabs. And then in addition, my phone, I can fit right up in here in that little slit up top. I've also got on, I think they're the everyday airbrush leggings. They came out in the community collections. They do have pockets on the side. I could probably wear shorts today, but I don't know. I'm going to be running on trails, so I would just rather wear leggings, to be honest with you. It's not a deal. Plus, I'm having my period. I just don't want to worry about anything. So leggings it is. This is going to be the outfit. I don't think this is the cutest hairstyle, but I think this has been my favorite way to run because of the humidity. I still do a slick back bun with the Day styling cream. And then I just do a braid, like I braid. Actually, how I do it is I put it in a ponytail, braid it, and then I wrap it into a bun like so. And then I feel like it stays off my neck, off my back, and keeps me cool. And then my hair's not snarly when I come home. Last step before I head out the door, sunscreen. I have finally found my favorite sunscreen to run in. I typically hate wearing sunscreen. I wear it, but I've never found one that I really enjoy as like a skincare product or how it makes my skin look. The Beauty of Joseon Day Dew sunscreen. This is SPF 50. Highly recommend this. You don't need a lot of it. And this has helped me immensely. This is SPF 50. Did I already say that? Water resistant for 80 minutes. This has been my go-to. Highly, highly recommend. But yeah, we got to get out the door here because it's closing in on what, 8 o'clock, I think. I am so not good at filming myself. So yeah, Jason's not here. He's at the gym strength training. Here's a look of the full fit. I've got some running socks on and someone's getting cozy. We're going to head out the door. Go for a run. Well, not you guys, but I am. Okay, bye. Wow, it actually feels kind of cool out. Before I do my long run, I wanted to have a little vulnerability chat with y'all about just how this year has felt for me personally, because it all kind of came to a head yesterday. This year has been a really big year for me of learning how to sit in unknowns. It just is like this epiphany that I've had that's been kind of weighing on me about the amount of unknowns in my life. Unknowns about my career, where it's going, unknowns about Jason's health and how that's gonna go, how that's gonna look, unknowns about our future. Are we gonna move? Can we comfortably move? How does that look? None of these are necessarily bad things, but they are all unknowns. And I don't think I really realized how much of that was sitting with me and somewhat overwhelming me in a way, if you will, because yeah, it just all kind of came out yesterday to Jason. And I had a big old fat cry. Can y'all even see me? It's so sunny. So I just feel like I have felt a lot of pressure on myself. And I think for a while I had been forcing myself to view it all as exciting. And for most of that, that's authentic and that's genuine. But really, I think I wasn't giving myself permission to just admit that it's felt very overwhelming to me. I think I very much try to always be the strong one in any scenario, whether it's family, my relationship, jobs, to a stranger. Like, I just always want to stay very grounded and able to tackle anything, that nothing's going to rattle me, nothing's going to shake me. And sometimes that comes across as I'm an unemotional person, but that's really not the case. It's just like I am that person that just tries to kind of keep it all together, because it's not even so much so that I don't want to burden other people. Like, in a way, sometimes I'm like, okay, keep it in, because you don't want to, your husband's dealing with enough, or You know, your friends have enough on their plates. Your family has enough on their plate. I don't even think it's just that. I think it's more so I don't want to admit to myself sometimes that I am struggling and that things are like bothering me, you know, like, and it's not even like, oh, I view it as a weakness. I'm someone that very much wants to live in a happy, positive, low stress place. And I get it that that's not real life. Like, you have to know how to handle stress, how to tolerate stress. And I do think I can tolerate it very well, but sometimes I also think I lie to myself about how well I'm dealing with it all, and I need to be more vocal and open up. So this is what I'm kind of sharing with you all here. That's a big reason why I started the Driven series. And also for many of you who are like, girl, what's your deal with running? Like, why do you run so much? Why do you love running? This, because of everything I just said, is why I feel like running is so powerful for me. It challenges me, and I know you might think, well, you've ran 16 marathons. Like, how challenging is it? Each and every marathon has its own unique challenges, and I learn something new about myself through each and every new training block. I really do. There's some type of growth that occurs. And training for me is a way, running, I should say, training for a marathon, it's something for me that I feel like it's not unknown. It's a challenge, but it's not unknown. I can control it. And it's just me against me out there. There's no other variables coming in. As someone that constantly has way too many tabs open in their head, running is the place for me where I just close, you hit the button, all the tabs close, they all disappear, they all vanish for me, and I'm just me, and I just run. I don't run for a set speed. I don't run to impress anyone. Half the time I'm not posting it on the internet. I run a lot more than anyone realizes who follows me, because it's my freedom. It's a big part of my therapy, if you will. I know it's not a substitution for therapy. I want to be clear on that. But for me, it's a way for me to be out of my head and in my body and provide that experience to really check in with myself and see what I need, see what I'm feeling, and kind of work through some stuff. So I don't know. I had this breakdown with Jason yesterday. And let myself cry like a lot. And I think it was really what my body needed, because even my sleep score this morning told me, like, wow, you're way more recovered today. Your HRV is higher, and that never happens. So I think I really needed that release. And you might not be a runner. You might be here for the dietitian tips and tricks. But I also just want to share with you, if you relate to any of how I am as a human, that it's okay to, you have to unload how you're feeling. And I don't mean dump on other people. I know that can be a cautious thing you have to navigate. You have to make sure someone's open to listening, but we always need to have someone there for us. And I am not someone who has some big friend group. I don't. I say sadly, but maybe it's for the best. I don't have a large friend group. I have a very small group of people that I feel very safe with to 100% be myself and to not feel judged in any capacity. And if you're watching this and you're like, I don't have that at all, I mean this wholeheartedly. I will be that person for you. I will be a safe space for you. If you ever need a chat, someone to listen, someone to feel less alone, my DMs are always open. I am always the one responding to them. So please reach out if you need to. But I will say running is really given me so much in my life during these unknowns. And I'm trying to best navigate having all these unknowns and not feeling it so heavily in my chest. And knowing that, you know what? It always works out. There's always a way. It always works out. And trying to just stay more present and grateful with what I have, while still acknowledging it's okay to feel overwhelmed, but staying more in the gratitude of things. So with that said, it's been a very long morning for me to get ready and get here, get these video clips done. So I really got to get this show on the road and get my run going. It actually feels a lot warmer out now, so I'm glad I did just like a quick little walk, move around there, feel the elements. But we'll check in with you guys later, maybe mid-run, after the run. Wish me luck. All right, guys, I am about a 10K in. I was just looping around, and I would have liked to have gone a bit longer before I took my first stop, but it definitely feels more humid, shocker, than I was planning. So I'm stopping for a quick drink. I'm also gonna take some fuel. I stocked up at Fleet Feet last night, so I have an assortment of goos. I also like to use these salt tabs. These are really easy to kind of pop in your mouth, chew on. They have magnesium, sodium, potassium. Not really a carb source. It's more so just to replenish electrolytes. You just chew it. So I'm gonna pop these in here, grab some fluids. I have some goo. I think I'm gonna do a caffeine goo. So my top picks are the honey stinger waffles. This is salted caramel. I had a bunch at home, they expired. And then the goos, the energy gel, the Roctane ones. These ones have 35 milligrams of caffeine, high amino acids, and sodium. So I think I'm gonna take this right now, drink some water, and get back to it because, yeah, we're already an hour in and I have a lot I want to do today. So I want to get this run done as efficiently as I can. So let's get the goo in. I'm going to take this, drink some water, and just get back out there. I'm currently listening to a podcast. In case you're curious what I listen to on these runs, I love Girls Next Level podcast because I'm a big Y2K girly. Loved Girls Next Door, so I always enjoy their podcast. It's just a little escapism for me while I run. Sometimes I zone out, but usually I kind of listen to it and just get in my pace. Oh my damn, I'm home now. I did a 21-mile run and it was not supposed to get this hot out today. I drank all of the fluids I had with me. I drank all of my Ghost Gains Intra, like it's all gone. That was supposed to be my post-run drink. It's gone. I also had 2 honey stinger waffles, salt tabs, the whole thing. I'm gonna show you something right now that I can show it to you. It might be kind of gross. So this is my go-to hairstyle, the braided bun. Hopefully you can see this. Did you just see all the fluid that came out of that? I just wrung it like a towel. Wrung it like a towel. That's all fluids, that's all water loss, electrolyte loss from my hair. I am absolutely soaked. I would not have worn leggings today if I thought it was gonna be this hot out. I'm so glad I got that done though. My legs feel a little tired, but it was good to kind of get that underneath me. That's the longest run I have done in 2026. So I'm proud of me, but I'm also fucking soaked. So I need to go in, take a shower, but also, even though I'm not hungry, this is something I do post-run. All of that intra, all of that pre, yes, I don't advise people when you're in a deficit, like if you work out, to like subtract your exercise from your calories. It's just not something I recommend doing. However, for me, I count everything. I still count everything I've had, but realistically running as far as I did, all of those calories, all of that carbohydrate was utilized for that run, you know? So on days like today, this is kind of how I balance it a little bit. I won't be like, oh no, I can't, I have to stay within my carbohydrate macros. I'm okay with going a little bit over. It's not a deal breaker for me. Alrighty guys, I took a full shower. The second I got in the door, my hair is just air drying. I had to rip out the contacts because my eyes were so dry after running, like I just can't see straight. Something I do, and this might sound silly, but again, I'm a data-driven person, and my goal is always to prioritize my energy, my recovery, just my body, and really protect it for how much I put it through. So what I normally do on a long run day is I will weigh myself first thing in the morning. I do mostly daily weigh-ins anyways, but I also weigh myself after I get home, after a long run, especially when it's in the humid months. Not as much during the winter, but sometimes I do, because it helps me gauge dehydration levels and how much fluid loss occurred. Now, I did a really good job today with getting fluid in intra run because I just kind of kept coming back to my car during, different points of my run. I had gotten in an entire hydro jug of water. I drank my Ghost Energy, Ghost electrolytes. That was a 24-ounce shaker cup. And then that huge thing was like 34 ounces, I think, of fluid with Ghost Gains. So all of that in me, intra run. I get home, I step on the scale. After intra fluids, goos, all the things, I'm down 2 full pounds on the scale. So to me, it's really telling to be able to do that, to really see, okay, yeah, I was really dehydrated. You saw how much came out of my hair, like the amount of fluid loss. It was a lot to keep up with regardless of how I was fueling. So why do I do that? It tells me how much I need to replenish today. And so just because I drank a lot of fluid this morning, I have to keep going. So instantly filled back up my hydro jug. So I've got this filled up with water. My sodium, it's just gonna be a high sodium day. I did actually throw down my pie hole some Quest crackers. They came out with Zesty Ranch little crackers. So I ate those. And then I don't buy this kind of stuff a lot, but I did happen to buy it this past week just to have a quick oh shit meal. It's what I like to call it when I'm starving. I need an option. I don't have the bandwidth to cook. This is what sets me up for success. I hadn't tried this before, but they used to send me a lot of foods, this Real Good Foods company. It is a lower carb, higher protein, higher fat focused company. So maybe it's not like an ideal post long run food source, but it's 14 grams of fat, 6 carbs, 25 grams of protein, and it's a lasagna bowl. It's nearly 1,000 milligrams of sodium. So my thought process was, you know what, for how much I sweated out today, what better day to get in that sodium than today? That's a very high sodium meal, which that is the downside with a lot of frozen foods, right, is the sodium level. Thankfully, I don't have blood pressure issues, but it just sounded good, even though it's hot as balls out. Something warm and made in 4 minutes sounded like all I could manage at this point. So I'm gonna eat this, and then I will probably continue to eat because that's good. I mean, it's got ricotta cheese in it and sauce. How could this be bad? But I will probably eat a little bit more. I think I'm gonna do fortunately, I don't really have much for fruit. I think we might have some pineapple, but this happens for me a lot post-run because I lose a lot of time being out there. I come home and instead of oh, you have to eat 3 set meals, I just eat what my body feels like it needs. And I try to eat relatively quickly, not quickly, but in a reasonable time frame post-run as well, because I'm always trying to prioritize maintaining my muscle. I'm very, very cautious of that. And I'm gonna do an update for you guys within this video too, a little check-in for my progress throughout Driven. But I'm at a point where I'm just really happy with my shape. I'm really happy with how I look. I feel like I look athletic. I did a race this past weekend. I didn't vlog it, but I did a 10-mile race for the 4th of July, which was a lot of fun. And one thing I said to Jason was, I just got there and I felt like I looked so athletic. But it's not something I would have said 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago probably. I just feel like I have put on really good muscle. I have really good shape. Obviously, my abs are very prominent, which helps, but even the shape in my legs, which my legs are the biggest source of where I carry my fat. My legs and the back of my triceps, well, triceps are in the back of my arms, but I just feel like I look athletic and I feel really good about how I look right now. I feel like I can see all the effort I've put in. And I don't think I can share that message enough, because as much as this series is let's lose weight or let's lock in, it's not always about what you see on the scale. It cannot be, because you're gonna set yourself up to fail. So for me, I love seeing that visual progress. The visual to me matters more. My weight could stay looking exactly the same, but if I feel like I am seeing my delts more, my abs more, my glutes still look nice and full, my legs, my quads are starting to come out more. That to me is all I could ask for. I don't care if the scale validates that or not. I know what's real. I know how I feel in my body. I know what I see when I look in the mirror. So I'm just in this stage where I'm really fucking proud of myself, and I'm really happy of the habits I've locked into place. The fact that I don't let days that I do decide to eat more carbohydrates or go for a long run and then honor my body with the carbohydrates that I need, it doesn't, in my mind, fuck me up. It doesn't say, oh, well, now you're off the plan, or now you just screwed this. I don't do that in my mind like I once did. I used to be very all or nothing and very extreme with a lot of rules in my mindset to how I thought I was supposed to approach my nutrition and my body in effort to see that dream body. In fact, me really kind of allowing myself to let go a bit and be more logical and be more neutral about how I'm doing things and what I'm doing and why and what's really important to me has actually made me align more with the body of my dreams, which truly is the body that I sit in today. So I'm just really happy with my progress. Maybe I'm running on a little bit of a runner's high right now, but I feel really good about it. So we will do a check-in in this vlog, not today. I am day 2 of my period, day 3 of my period. Just did the run. I am always inflamed post long run. If any runners are here watching this video, another thing I've noticed, I'm eating very high sodium today. I put my body through a lot today. Tomorrow, I will look soft. I will be carrying water. My weight will probably spike back up. It doesn't stress me out. It's just part of the game. So if you can be more logical about this stuff and really know what your goals are, what's important to you, the daily fluctuations and shit like that, it shouldn't rattle you. It's not that big of a deal. It's not going to dictate how I feel about myself for that day or how I carry myself. So anyways, with that little blab said, I'm going to eat this and probably eat quite a bit more. We'll catch up with you later. Can any of my girlies please give me advice? What are we doing with our summer hair? If you're a runner, if you are a sweaty Betty like myself, what the F are we doing with our hair? Guys, it doesn't matter what I do with it. I wash it and then it's getting soaked. It's getting humid. It's getting nasty. It's getting nasty. And then this is what it looks like. I don't normally get greasy hair, but anyway, ladies, leave me all your tips below. I wanted to just kind of quickly go through my check-in. I've kind of been doing like every other driven video, a little check-in with y'all. And I grabbed my check-in yesterday. So you're seeing yesterday's check-in. This is mid-period for me, but honestly, as long as I'm day 3, I'm like, whatever, let's just do the damn thing. Sometimes I will stay off the scale a couple days, but usually towards the end of my period, I start to have new low weigh-ins, which I did not yesterday, but today I had a new low weigh-in. So I feel like I look better today than I did yesterday in the video footage. And that's me being like super detailed, but I could just tell yesterday I was still a little bit soft. Whereas today I feel like, ooh, I had a pump in the gym this morning. I digress. We have hit a new low weigh-in for me at this point of the prep series, the prep series. Oh my goodness, bodybuilding on the brain. We started this cut in April, as you maybe remember if we've been following along. I did have a little bit of a couple weeks where I was more in a maintenance phase with traveling and coming home. I kind of took a little bit of a pause, but then we got our shit back in action. And I think it's a cool testament to really just show this is real life. This is what happens when we enter a cut phase. It's not always perfectly linear. It's not always a perfect little downward trend. Sometimes we backstep a little bit. Sometimes the weight spikes up. It depends on what we're doing and how dialed in we are. I will always take onus of what I'm doing. I could almost always tell you how my weight's going to respond for the most part, or how this cut would have gone before I stepped on the scale or took the progress photos. Nothing is a huge shock to me anymore. And I personally think that's the beauty of doing these cycles of cutting phases. You know, I do 1 a year mostly, despite what people think. I do 1 a year. And it really helps me learn and better understand my body. And our bodies do change. So it does give me that understanding of how my body's changing over time as I'm aging. And even still to this day at 42, nothing's really surprising me in terms of how my body's responding. I have no issues responding to losing weight, thankfully, if I'm doing what I need to be doing. And I am at a point where I'm not even doing anything excessive, but as you've seen in this video, I have started to add in more long distance running. And that was kind of the plan all along, was I was going to finish out this cut phase and head into marathon training. So I do have news for y'all, because call me Delulu, but the marathon training and marathon itself is happening a bit sooner than I had anticipated. I still plan on doing a fall marathon, but I had a really cool opportunity come my way to run a marathon. So I will be running, actually 2 weeks from today, I will be getting on a plane and heading to San Francisco, California. I've never been, and I will be running the San Francisco Marathon. What's really cool about this experience is I'm doing it with a bigger purpose of just me. I'm doing it in collaboration with King's Trust USA, which is a charity organization that raises money for youth and to help youth gain the confidence, the skills, get access to the education that they need to really better themselves for those youth that don't have access to it. So this organization helps with aligning our youth of today with just helping them become better and become more confident. And that is a message that speaks to me. Even though I am a woman without kids, I am a woman who grew up very, very much lacking confidence. I'll say lacking a lot of skills. And you know, I think it's really cool to have an organization like this to help shape our youth and give them something positive and something at a younger age to truly give them probably the skills that are really necessary to help them build a really great life, and maybe those that don't have access to it. So I am doing fundraising along with this. And if you guys, no pressure at all, but I will leave my fundraising link in the description box. If this is a charity that speaks to you at all, leave some more information. You can head to my fundraiser page. I have some information there, and I'm just doing my best to try to raise a little awareness and fundraise for them prior to going into this marathon. But I feel super grateful that they gave me this opportunity to go there and to run this marathon. I definitely wasn't really at the stage I needed to be at technically to run this marathon, but I am someone who loves a fucking challenge. And I was like, challenge accepted. You know, what a cool way for me to see a city I've never seen before. That is something I really love about marathon running. I'm definitely not at a stage where I feel like I need to run 6 times a week so I can make sure that I'm hitting my paces and getting faster each and every race. It's not like that for me. I do know I can complete a full marathon. I've done 16 of them. I did 2 last year. I've stayed very well trained. I did a half marathon this year. I did a 10-miler. I did 2 10-milers. I've got a 15K coming up this weekend. I am in probably my best athletic conditioning that I've ever been in. So that is fine for me. The San Fran Marathon, however, is a different beast in terms of elevation and hills. And I get to run over the Golden Gate Bridge. How freaking cool is that? So it's gonna be challenging, it's gonna be hard, but what's cool is I know I can do it. And when it gets hard, I can think about the fact that I'm running on behalf of King's Trust USA. And something as maybe what sounds simple as that can be what gets you through in those hard times, thinking about you doing it for a greater purpose. That really lights me up. I don't know if you know this, but with the 16 marathons that I have run, my very first marathon I did was with a charity organization. It's the only time I ever did it. This is back when snail mail was all we had. Like, I wasn't writing emails or setting up a GoFundMe page or things like that. I was literally writing snail mail to all my family, to all my friends, talking to anyone I could to try to generate the money for Team Diabetes. I can't remember how much I had to raise back then, but it was the first marathon I ever did in Disney World. And it was a really, really cool experience. So this feels really full circle to me, even though I'm doing this in such a short duration. It's really important to me to still do my part, if you will. So if you guys have any recommendations for San Francisco, let a hoe know. It's going to be a very short duration that I'm there. And I also, will be focused on resting for the marathon, but I'm really excited about it. And that also means what's happening with my cut. Well, I've actually still been doing my cut while I have started to work into marathon training. The long run I did this week was 21.5 miles. And I did that in a way where, as I mentioned, I increased my carbohydrates for how I needed to pre, intra, and post run. And then I kept it moving for my normal macros that I have in place for myself. I always stay in tune with my body. So after a long run, if I find like several days later, I'm really hungry or I'm feeling low energy, I will prioritize rest. I'll hold back on my lifts and go lighter weight. I will increase carbohydrates. I've really been able to learn my secret sauce for fueling in a way that keeps me feeling athletic, fresh, recovered, strong in the gym, as fast as I normally feel when I run. Like, I just feel so good right now about the progress that I've made. And actually this weigh-in today, if I had set a weigh-in for what I wanted to achieve for this series, it was the weigh-in I hit today. However, I'm in my like pullback period. I'm in the taper now for the marathon. So I'm gonna kind of keep this plan of what I've been doing, because it's been working, in place till I get to the marathon. So with that in mind, I do want to share more marathon stuff with you here. So if you guys are excited about that and kind of want to see how I balance this all, then definitely let me know down in the comments if you've made it to the end of this video. I'm also going to be trying to share more content, running content, if you will, over on my Instagram as well as TikTok. I'm just trying to be better about getting out of my way and just posting content. Sometimes I get so bogged down with, is it valuable enough? Is it edited well enough? Does the lighting look good enough? Do I look good enough? And sometimes it's so much, it's too much. It's too many tabs open in my brain. So I am trying to get out of my own way. I'm trying to post more consistently, post content that's, yes, valuable, but sometimes it's just sharing my life with you guys. And I hope with doing so that you find some value in that you do come here even when I share a vlog like this that's just more giving you insight into my life, that somehow, somewhere in these videos, it's giving you value, even if it's just escapism from what you're dealing with in your everyday life, you know? So with all that said, San Francisco Marathon, July 26th. If you're local, let me know. Would love to meet you after the marathon, before the marathon. During the marathon, I'm locking in. My past 2 races, I have talked to people the entire time. This race, I'm locking in and I'm staying in my own head just so I can see how it goes and so I don't burn myself out with needing the energy and capacity for the marathon. And also, I would like to try to film if I can figure out my battery situation. I'd love to kind of take you actually along the marathon with me. This time, I didn't do that for my other 2 marathons, so I'd love to be able to, you know, kind of each mile do a little check-in. Let me know if that would interest you at all, if you want to be taken along for the experience. But again, I'm going to leave my fundraising link. I will leave that in the description box, pin it below. Any amount you donate helps, whether it's $1 or it's $50, whatever feels good to you, no pressure. But I do appreciate y'all's support. I'm super excited, and I hope you guys are doing great with the summertime and keeping that momentum going strong. And until next time, friends, stay driven.